it, but like, oh, yeah, she said she would. Okay.
Yeah. I figured I'd just email her back with the recording.
Yeah.
And now we're on the recording. Okay.
Pat, would you be able to enable screen sharing?
I sure can.
Mhm.
Do, 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 do.
So this is kind of an yeah. I'm recorded now. It's always weird, you know what I mean? It gets weird for a second. This was kind of just to establish who is leading our subcommittees. I already said I wanted to do a legislative, and I've been kind of leading that already. So but we have a bunch of other ones, and we want to know what you guys particularly were interested in. And I guess now we're gonna make a poll. Is that what we decided?
Yeah. So I think we were gonna, because not a lot of people like responded to this meeting, and that makes sense because I think we kind of just forgot about it for a little bit. So I think we could definitely send out a Google form like with the recording of this meeting maybe. And we could, like, I was thinking instead of just talking about that during this meeting, we could also get everyone's like finalized input on like specifics about the ambassador program. Like, I know with Francis we talked about what our target audience is, but just like finalizing like next steps.
Yeah.
I thought that was also something we could.
Some of them we're, I think, pretty organized with. Our target audiences are going to be mainly high school students because frankly it's harder to get college students involved. We are discussing maybe reaching out to older middle school too, 7th and 8th grade, but I think that's something we want to focus on high school students now and see if we can expand it to the younger versions.
Specifically like local high school. Sorry.
I was going to say, let me ask you something though, because we already have now 10 people from Brookdale Community College who want to be ambassadors. So does that change your thinking in any way?
So yeah, it was just our thinking with the like mainly focusing on high school students was we didn't know if there were enough college students that were gonna have time to like contribute to the ambassador program.
It's not that we won't be reaching out to college students. It's not that we obviously wouldn't accept college students. It's more of a we don't have a lot of resources as it is right now. And we think if we focus more on local high schools and people who we can kind of ensure that if we can go in person and present something to them, and we hear back from them, it's also people who we can kind of depend on to be involved for a prolonged period of time. Just to say, if you have someone who's in their second year at Brookdale, a junior in high school versus someone who's like a sophomore at Brookdale, a junior in high school is probably going to be involved for the next year or two versus a sophomore at Brookdale. It's not that we are not reaching out to those groups. Gotcha. It's in terms of just pooling our resources right now and trying to figure out the best way to move forward. We think high school students more.
Recruiting. I see what you're saying. I think you have an opportunity to use this group then as, I don't know, like a trial run. You have 10 people who are interested, so we can meet with them. We can find out which ones of the committees they might be interested in working on. And then see how it works with them. And then when you're recruiting people from high school, then you've got a model that you've already got in place.
Yeah, so I put something about that here, and I was just thinking about our timeline because I know during the last meeting we talked about starting it in January. But when did we say we wanted like our orientation to be?
January.
Okay, so are we gonna like do, because Pat said there are 10 Brookdale students that wanted to get involved, so are we gonna have them get involved sooner, have them get involved with like the rest of our ambassador program?
Honestly, I honestly do think it might be better just to do them all in January, just coming up in the holiday season, and just it's holiday season, it's application season, it's final season if you're in college. I don't know if this would be the best time to get everyone like pushed in, I suppose.
All right, Zach, you're probably in a good spot to ask this question too. If we have this group of 10 kids who responded because they participated in a civics engagement day.
Okay.
The 10 of them are interested in helping energizing young voters in some way, shape, or form. I think many of them are thinking of going back to their own high schools or their own middle schools and teaching. A couple of people were interested in social media. So one of my thoughts was that I don't want to lose them, so I think we need to communicate with them quickly and
Okay.
efficiently, but then set a meeting for either like mid-December or early January. So in terms of college students, which time would be the better time frame?
I think, wait, what school is this?
It's Brookdale Community College.
Okay, I'm gonna look up their academic calendar because depending on their finals week, you might want to go around that.
Yeah, true.
You want to give at least like a buffer of like 1 week before finals week, just because they need to study. But outside that, you can get any other time.
Yeah, I have some friends at Brookdale, and I do think it is like probably mid-December is when their finals are, because I know they have like similar. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's, like, so at least like January is definitely like easier for college students in general. I think just because it's like you're a new semester, like it's not as much of a workload right away.
I think maybe within the next week or two, we could send out the form. We could send out the form for ambassadors, have them fill it out. So that's essentially just has the different committees we have on it, and it's just asking why you want to be involved. Is there anything specifically you want to do? And then we can like add in that our orientation is going to be in January.
Okay, yeah, so I had a question about that. Are we gonna like send out, so we're gonna do the form and are we gonna also send out like a flyer and then we'll have like the link to the form on the flyer? Cause I feel like if we just send out a form, that might be a little bit,
Yeah. I sent you the QR code, right?
the QR code for the form.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you might have, I don't know, I have to double check, but I could put that on the flyer.
Yeah. I can always send it again.
Okay, and also like, okay, so we kind of have to like talk about who we're gonna send it out to specifically. So I know you and I would probably send it out to our school districts. And then we would also need to get like contacts from other school districts, or I could ask some of my teachers if they know people in local school districts that I could send it to.
I mean, if we send it through the energizing voters email, honestly, we might just be able to send it like to each district. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to like come up with like a spreadsheet or something, or a document with all the emails on it.
Okay. We can do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we already have
definitely.
like a spreadsheet with the documents of a lot of the schools I know that I can also like
Oh,
share with you guys of like the different emails. Also, I can reach out to anyone, especially like Middletown high schools if you need.
yeah, that would be great if you could send us a spreadsheet with like all of the schools on it.
Are you planning, you said that you were thinking of doing it in person?
For the orientation or the,
Yeah.
I think we can fix that idea.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
have-
So
Real quick.
What's
So-
that?
I think the week from in December from the 10th to the 16th should be good because I'm looking right now and it says their finals end on the 23rd. So that should work in theory. And then if not, just wait till January. That way everything's done.
Now that I think January is probably smarter, but I think we should communicate with them during December.
Maybe send out like
sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, so in December, we were talking about communicating with them. What do we communicate? What do we send? What do we give them?
I think we could probably send them the flyer and they could fill out the form just to like get an idea for what committee they'd be interested in. And then, yeah, I think we could probably send that out, and then we'd also have to come up with like an orientation, because I know these kids are definitely gonna like get into the ambassador program. So we need like probably to set an orientation day, but not right now because January is too far ahead. But sometime like beginning of maybe right after you come back, Pat, we could meet and figure out what orientation date and send out that email to them.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do on it. What does the orientation include?
I guess just like a presentation about the Energizing Young Voters and how the committee is gonna work and how the meetings are gonna work. Just like, I don't know, like a how-to manual and what the ambassador program is gonna look like. And we could do like activities too.
Okay, I'm gonna have to give that some.
Okay. So flyers with the form link to local school districts, and we said like in the next week or so. Cause I know I have a lot of do you have a lot of like days off in the next couple weeks?
No. Do you?
It's no school November though.
What?
But
Do you not have off?
He goes to a Catholic school, you go to a
No.
Catholic school.
I know there's like a teacher's week or something.
Yeah.
No,
There's a
I have
teacher's
like almost
convention.
every day in school.
Yeah.
Oh, I
In
have
public
off like
schools, it's teachers convention, it's teacher
I
conferences.
have a half
and then
day
it's-
for parent teacher conferences.
I don't have one like for the rest of November. Every single week, I'm gonna have at least 1 or 2 days off.
Oh, I
You know,
missed that.
you don't have to brag, okay? Right.
But then she goes to school until the end of June, so.
Yeah.
That's true. I get off like actually my seniors last year, their last day was the last week of May.
Yeah.
So I get out like end of May, early June.
But I'd like rather go to school in the summer. It's a better vibe. Like I don't really care as long as we get days off during the school year.
Well, not to, this is why we don't have meetings. This is why we can't do meetings today because we talk too much.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pull you back. So we're going in December, we're sending out the flyer with the QR code on it. And
To the
inviting them to an orientation in January. So I think
Yeah.
that flyer should have that invitation on it.
For like everything else, so are we sending it out to like local school districts in the next couple of weeks? Like when's our deadline to do that? For like local school
Well,
districts.
it's going to have to go to those individual students that I've already got, you know, names and addresses and email addresses and that kind of stuff. And then I think you need to think about whether you want to start big and hope that you get people, or whether you want to start more targeted with people that you know you're likely to get somebody from. One of my concerns about putting it out to just every single place in the state is that they don't know us from a hole in the wall, and it's going to get tossed. The email is going to get tossed. I think you're going to have to start at least with schools that we've already presented in.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was saying. Maybe I could like talk to a couple of teachers in my school and I could ask them if they have like contacts from other schools, and so they could send it to those contacts. So it's like more credible than just me sending them.
That would work
Yeah.
better than just doing a mass email.
And then as for everything with Catholic schools, I can just say I'm a student at Vianney and just be like, this is a program. They're usually more receptive to those. And then I have some friends at RBC, STA, Redmond Catholic, St. Thomas Aquinas that I can talk to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do we want to do that in like the next couple of weeks, Kat? Like do our schools that like do the contacts, or like send it out to people that we know, and then from there we could figure out what our next steps are.
Yeah, I think you and I should meet at some point and we'll make sure we like the form and all that. And then we'll probably maybe the first week of December we want to send it out.
Okay.
On track
So
for that.
okay.
Yeah, I know the high
you
school I went to, Middletown High School South, they had a whole civic leaders class for seniors, which could also be a class to send it out to. I know the teacher of, so I can share
Yeah,
with them.
that would be great. That would be great. Wait, Kat, can you stay on after this? Or do you
Yeah,
have something?
I'm good.
Okay, okay.
And
We
if
could
Zoom kicks us out, I'll just call you.
Okay, yeah.
All right,
Flyer-
so question. So you're going to come up with a spreadsheet with the names of the schools that you're specifically going to target. Am I correct? I'm making notes. So
Yeah, I think Charlotte's gonna send us the spreadsheet with the school districts that she's compiled, and then we'll add on the ones that we're like specifically targeting.
Okay, what Charlotte has is every single school district in the state.
Yeah, so definitely
I
we'll
think
add,
you need to narrow it down to the ones that you're specifically going to address with us. And then Charlotte, on this
Yeah, I think
spreadsheet
if-
itself, you can just add a column and designate it some way so that you can just pull those addresses out.
Or if you want to send me just an email or a text of what schools you wanted to reach out to first, I can just put those schools on the spreadsheet so it's not like overwhelming to start like
Okay,
a separate spreadsheet, and then once we reach out to those schools, we can add more. Just
okay.
so it's not
Okay.
overwhelming amount.
Zach, do you still have contacts in RCBC?
I do.
Maybe you want to add a professor or somebody there that you know that might be interested in having some of their students participate.
Absolutely. I actually have a pretty good contact, like a pretty strong one, because he's a professor I know closely. He's the chair of the political science department, and he's also the faculty advisor for the political science club.
That sounds great. I
yeah,
don't think you could ask for more. That's wonderful.
And then I can also get you guys in touch with the chair for sociology and criminal justice as well.
Okay, great.
that sounds great.
Are we going to be sending? I think it's best if we send emails from the Energizing Young Voters
I
account.
agree.
Yeah.
So,
Charlotte has access to that. So
okay. So we'll essentially make you a list, and then
we'll like send you like a blurb with the flyer too and everything, and then you could just email it out.
Okay, great.
And then for like the committees, we have like what we presented at the last board meeting, like over here. Are there like any suggestions? Should we change anything, or is this what we're gonna start out
yeah,
with?
I don't think finance should be in your ballpark. I think that's something, because I don't even know
Yeah.
where we're going with finance in terms of the league. So don't make that one of your things.
Yeah.
I think
I-
you know,
Okay.
I can't speak. DEI, that's what we agreed upon, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what did you just change?
Education to DEI. I think that's what
Wait, no, I thought we were
Okay.
changing finance to DEI.
Oh, wait. So then, what would the difference be between education and DEI?
That's a good question. That's actually a very good question that I didn't think all the way through.
and
Oh.
I think one of the things that is really important for the two of you at least to do is to come up with a one sentence description of what that committee involves.
Yeah,
So
we need to edit the form.
legislative, you've got those three things: lobbying efforts, legislative sessions, and research. But if somebody is reading that in a sentence, they're not going to know what that means.
Yeah, I have a line for that. That's-
Okay.
I also do think like education and DEI, especially with this description of education, can kind of go together, because you
Yeah.
can add like education, but also looking at the presentations and fixing the modules, kind of on the basis of being more inclusive.
Okay.
So-
Well, do we want to add an additional one or just nix finance altogether?
Yeah, I think we should just get rid of finance. I don't know if we need is there anything else that we would need? Like, well,
I
right
don't-
now we technically only have like
3.
3 actual committees because leadership is just us.
I don't know. Do you guys have any?
Yes, social media.
That's under
PR.
PR. That's under PR and outreach.
Okay.
Do we need
I see.
anything as of right now, honestly?
I'm trying to like think about like clubs that I'm in or like what committees they have. I know they
Finance
have,
should be under leadership's purview.
yeah, and like normal. I don't know. DEI is a good one. PR's
Legislative is in charge of like reaching out to government officials, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Do you see presentations? Where does presentations fit?
That's under education.
Or we can make that a separate one
We
too. Like
couldn't get a separate one.
just presenting them, like education could work on fixing the modules, like Charlotte said, to be more inclusive and like, and then we could have, if we get rid of this, we could just have, as I don't know what we would call that, but
Yeah, just call it that for now. You know what we will need eventually?
What?
I think it's too early now, but we will need a group in charge of like keeping track of statistics and whatnot. And taking like the data.
Yeah,
We really need to get more into data collecting with like how many students
good
are
point.
interested, how many students will go out and vote after the presentation. But I don't know if that's too early to create a whole subcommittee about it. I think it might be too early.
yeah, maybe we could, like a couple months or like a couple weeks in, we could like ask if anyone from the committees wants to join a separate like, or focus on data.
Maybe a couple months in even. I'm just thinking aloud.
I'm thinking, and again, I'm going to turn to you two college students. Are there times in your courses where you're required to do a project that would involve data analysis?
Not for me specifically, just because in Europe it like works differently and it's just like specific courses and you don't really like pick classes. And I'm doing law, so like there's nothing on data, which is really nice for me, but like I'm not sure. I think for other classes, like they're probably when there's like math requirements in the US, there probably are like data classes that people take that probably do focus on something like this.
I mean, for me, really, the only time I've really had to do data so far is when I took my statistics course. And then the only other time that I'm gonna have to use is I'm actually doing academic research right now for college. So I'll be using that around December. So like usually that comes into play depending on what you're doing. And I think like higher level college courses like junior and senior year, usually depending on what major, will have something with that.
Well, I assume any political science major is going to include it in some capacity.
Yeah.
Demographically, at least, right?
And the social sciences, really.
I feel like it's definitely more like, I don't know, I feel like everything uses statistics.
I think political science definitely includes statistics.
But
I mean, I'm a social major, I use it.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that input.
Okay, so then we would just send out like a form to other board members, like we would need to create another form. Like, do you guys have any preference over which?
You're here, so if you want to like stake your claim on a leadership position.
Oh wait, can I stake my claim really quick? Wait, no, this is too hard. Wait, I don't know if I want PR or education. I don't know. Okay,
I don't know. I'm happy. I'm very happy with legislative. I do use Legiscan on the regular. Thank you for that, Pat.
Okay,
on the regular.
I think I'm gonna go with PR. I think I've staked my claim.
Do you want to take over the social media account then? Because that's
Yes.
why I haven't enjoyed doing it. I enjoy learning about these people, but also I usually do it at about 11:30 at night because I keep forgetting. I'll give you a list of like all the people. I usually just Google unknown activist. I usually just Google activists of some kind. Like this month Native American Heritage Month apparently. I need to post that actually. I forgot about that. But so I just like Googled Native American activists and you go from there. It's not hard.
Okay.
Oh, also, sorry, this is just kind of like for social media right now, what I'm working on is I've created some posts that I can post as well, which you are welcome to help out on, which is basically just saying like the excuses of why people don't vote and then the responses. Pat, I've actually created a few that I shared on the timesheet document, but I will be posting those as well soon.
Good.
Kind of make like a regular thing, like once a week.
Similar to the Throwback Thursdays. What did you decide on a day that was a good one for that, or?
I did not yet. I wasn't sure if you just want to look over them and make sure first, but I can post something tomorrow.
Maybe like a Tuesday, a Monday or Tuesday schedule, so it's not too close to Throwback Thursdays, but it's like.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
keep
Also, I
engaged.
just want to make it clear, I'm definitely not taking over social media right now. It's just in January when the actual
Okay.
things.
Okay.
Okay, you're doing
Okay.
social media for your local league, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so you've
And
got some good experience there. Okay,
Yeah.
are you putting your names down on those?
oh, good idea. I was gonna do that, but I didn't really know if I should.
She's gonna do that, and then we started talking about something and we distracted her. Zach, Charlotte, do you have anything that you want to take right now?
Actually, yeah. I'm probably gonna get on the committee for legislative.
Oh, you
Okay.
want to join that committee?
Yeah,
Okay. I think. Okay.
because I've actually been doing research recently on a lot of like policy and like different political mindsets, so I feel like that'd be really good.
So,
Okay, yeah.
you're saying like you're gonna chair PR though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna chair legislative, and then
Yeah.
you want-
We're gonna open it because like we're probably with the amount of board members we have right now, we're probably gonna have multiple people. Do we want multiple people? Do we want multiple people chairing committees, or do we just want it like on a first come first
think-
serve?
I don't even know if you have to say first come first serve. I think as of now, it's good to have one person. If we evolve, also people can always be co-chairs. This is more just like I don't even know what the responsibilities of the chair is going to be yet for each of these.
Yeah.
It's more so we can have a solid foundation to be working off of. I think as we get more into it, we can see what works and what doesn't. It's quite possible that some of these will need different systems than others.
Yeah.
That's a good
So
point.
off the bat, is there anything that you guys like want to specifically chair by yourself?
Not specifically like chair by myself, just because I'm not sure like exactly what like the leadership entails, so I don't want to like fully commit to
So,
chairing by myself.
Leadership is us.
Oh,
Leadership.
okay, sorry, not for
Me and
leadership,
Sandra.
just like
Yeah.
for being like the chair of a committee. Like for example, I would be really interested in helping with like education. I'm just not sure like what is entailed for
Yeah.
like chairing it yet, so I don't want to like fully commit that I
Yeah,
could do it
I
on my
mean,
own.
that's the thing too. We don't know what's entailed for chairing any of these. It's really we could also put you down as a co-chair and see if anyone would like to co-chair with you. and
Yeah.
that's probably
Okay, great.
something.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd
These are
That's a good point, Charlotte. I know that Lily is very interested in the DEI part,
Mhm.
so she
I
would
put her
probably-
name down.
I would put her name down and check with her, but I'm pretty sure that she would jump on that.
Okay,
Zach,
great.
do you want to do presentation maybe? Is that an area of interest?
I'm not a good public speaker, so
Okay.
we'll leave that and see if anyone would like to figure that out. Do we want to have a specific chair for ambassadors, or do we want to leave it as more
No.
you and I
Yeah,
just
ambassadors are just gonna be, we would like, okay, so like
it operates under leadership?
yeah, leadership is just like the board right now. Like when we said they would have,
Sorry, I'll be more clear. What I mean is it's going to operate under whoever the current leadership chairs are.
yeah.
Okay. That's good.
All right, so what I'm hearing, I think, and you can correct me, is that when you send this out on the things that people can choose to join as committees are the legislative, the education and DEI, and the PR outreach social media.
And the presentation.
Presentations. I think in my own mind that presentations actually fit under the education piece too.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. We could just
Yeah.
blank.
So if you just have those three things, I think that's a really good start, actually.
So we wouldn't be sending out a form to anyone else then, because we already have chairs for all three of these. So would we just send them like,
Yeah, just
Just
say
find out
we'll
what
just send them a
they're
form of
interested-
yes.
what is their primary interest in
Okay.
joining, energizing young voters?
And you know what?
is
If
it they
someone-
want to do? Do they want to be
Yeah.
teaching and working on the curriculum? Do they want to be working to
Mhm.
get legislation passed? Do they want to be handling media and public relations for us? Those are unless you can all think of something else that would be intriguing to you or to other people in your spheres?
I don't think we need one right now. I think as we go forward, it might be useful and we can see what we need, but as of right now, I think that's fine.
Yeah, and I think when you become an ambassador, you become one of those things. You do one of those things. You don't need to do everything, correct? And then
Yeah.
the leadership
Yeah, yeah.
is all of you
Mhm.
people who are on the board.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so our thing that we would need to do after this meeting then is me and Kat and I have horrible grammar. Kat and I will fix up like the forms and
We'll
then
make a one sentence thing.
Yes.
yeah, and then we also have to make a separate one for the board members, I think. Or yeah.
Honestly, do we just want to shoot out an email to everyone and be like, these are our 3 committees. Please respond with what you are interested
Okay,
in.
yeah.
Because they should be trusted to respond. This is, I think, part of the ongoing. We need to require more from our board members. I think they can be trusted to respond to an email.
Okay, yeah.
They should
So
be. Yeah.
we could come up with those one sentence blurbs, put them on the form we're gonna send out to the ambassadors, and then we could take those sentence blurbs, send them to Pat. Well, Pat, are you leaving tomorrow? You're not leaving tomorrow, right?
Friday.
Okay, yeah, so we could send them out to you, like in a day, or maybe even tonight, and then you could send that out to the rest of the board. And then that's not even like that important. It's just whatever they're interested in. And we'll focus on like finishing a flyer in the form, like developing that list of schools that we're gonna send it to, and then first week of December, hopefully we can send out flyers. We also need to close the application. When do we want to close the application?
I think the day, like literally, like the day or two before we end up hosting our orientation is fine.
Okay.
Or actually, you know what? Honestly, do we just want to leave it open?
Yeah, I was going to say, why do you need to close it?
Oh, you don't? Okay. Okay.
And you know
You
what
know,
it
I mean,
is?
whoever you have at the point that the orientation starts, you can include in that orientation and then work from there. But then
Yeah.
anybody new, you'll just have another orientation later on.
And
Okay.
I think what we can do is set it up so that yes, we have a yearly like cycle, especially next we're not going to do it by this year, obviously, because this is Tuesday. But by next election season, I think if we could have a good amount of people were registering and like getting involved late September and like around November around election season, and then I think that'll put us in a good spot to orientate a big group in January. And then as people come in over the years, if we have a particular influx at any point, we can host another orientation. Or if it's like 1 or 2 people, you and I or who's ever in charge of leadership at that point can just hop on a call with them, kind of break down the orientation stuff and get them situated. But it doesn't have to be a whole production each time.
It's a
Okay.
good thing we're doing the first one in January though, because like you and I are both here, and next year we're gonna be in college, and
You're gonna be a senior in high school. Look, I'll be hopefully, God willing, about 3 hours away. So I can do things. I'll still be in the same time zone. But
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Right. So you have this pretty much squared away in your head now. You know what you're going to do. We have the
Mhm.
date for we're going to contact people in December. We're going to have an orientation meeting in January, probably on a Sunday afternoon again, which seems to work pretty well for people, unless you think that's crazy. We have something else going on that I need to fill you in on, and Charlotte's got an ask for you that she's doing for me. So we're in the process. Hopefully, when I come back in December, I'm going to be meeting with people at the national level of the league. And one of the things that is going to come up is where does energizing young voters belong? Should it be just in New Jersey, under the New Jersey League, or should it be under the National League? And I'm going to have to do a sales job. And this would mean not that we would stop doing exactly what we're doing. It would mean that when another state comes on board, they would be a part of Energizing Young Voters National, and we would still be ourselves. But we've got to convince them that it's important for the national to recognize that Energizing Young Voters should exist and should exist nationally. So Charlotte, you want to give your pitch?
Yeah, so what we're trying to do for this presentation that's going to take place in about mid-December is get a bunch of short videos either from members or just anyone who's part of Energizing Young Voters as well. And kind of the videos would be just anyone who wants to do them and outline what Energizing Young Voters did for them, why it makes them want to be like civically engaged and become lifelong voters, and what kind of encourage them to participate. So I'll send an email later to all board members kind of what else we're looking for in the video. So just like really short videos that we can add to the presentation to kind of sell Energizing Young Voters from the point of view of young voters, of course.
Because, you know, if it were possible, it would be nice to have you in person on the call, but it's probably going to be during the school day. So it doesn't, it would be hard to do it. So I think if like TikTok style, you know, very short, very to the point. You people are crazy if you don't use Energizing Young Voters.
I will say, I can see if I can get out of class. Let me know what it is, and I can see if I can.
I want to get out of class.
Yeah, there are some of my classes where, well, first of all, I have a study hall like 3 days a week, just letting you know. So, and then, I have a horrible, horrible religion class that I will do anything to get out of. So,
I'm okay getting out of any class.
Me
ever.
too. Yeah, I just want to process. I'm just
Well, then get your thoughts together, because doing it in a video is easier in a lot of ways because you can really focus on the message that you want to get across. So really get your thinking, you know, targeted.
that's
We would probably, if I'm lucky, I'm going to have 20 to 30 minutes total. And I've got a lot of stuff from other stakeholders that also needs to be presented. So,
Yeah, so just be like a 2-minute or like a minute long spiel.
I would say no longer than a minute. And
Yeah.
why this is what every young kid and every college age kid across the country should be involved in.
Yeah, I would say about like 30 seconds to a minute would be the perfect amount of time for these short videos. And also we could just have them at some point in November. So like that gives you a lot of time to think, because the presentation, Pat, you said would be like mid-December.
Mid-December. I just sent out another email today asking them for a specific date and time because it's too
great.
nebulous right now. I
Okay,
don't like,
great.
I want to
And
know.
then also, Pat, if you do need help presenting, I mean, with the time difference, I'll definitely be out of class for the most part. So
yeah, I'm not going to steal Cassandra, but I think me and her would also be very willing to come out and, you know, help me present, or just honestly just to see the process, because that's also.
Okay. I will certainly work on that. Thank you. Okay. Anything else or?
No, I think we're good. Cassandra, are you and I staying on?
Yeah,
Okay.
we got to work on that form.
Okay, let's just cut the recording there at least, and we can.
All
if
right.
you can send that to Francis, Pat, because I don't know how you send recordings.